Welcome to another episode of Leftovers.
I'm Andrew Erickson.
I'm Max Hansen.
And we're here to discuss the Hateful Eight, the eighth film.
And the final.
Which is a coincidence of 8 being...
Oh, it's not a coincidence.
The 8. The trailer dropped, and they just officially released it, and... You have a lot of... you should hold this up, because it's interesting.
I watched it about
that.
20 or so times, and I took notes.
I did not.
I could have taken more notes. I could have watched it more times, but you know, I'm a busy guy. I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan. The fandom's not big enough.
I know of him, and I'm more new to him than you are. You know, you've followed him for a while.
Yeah, I've seen every one of his films,
and I have
bad ones.
See, this is why I'm gonna be the external audience
voice.
All right. I liked Django Unchained a lot, and I don't know if I've seen much else.
You've seen Kill Bill, right?
Nope. And I haven't seen...
Have you seen Reservoir Dogs?
No.
Pulp Fiction.
I've seen half of Pulp Fiction. This is why I'm the external source. Why don't you go ahead and dive into what you've discovered?
So, by by watching it a dozen times, I've noticed a lot of things. First of all, most of the characters, with the exceptions of 2 that I can tell, have only been in one of Quentin Tarantino's films. One exception is Samuel L. Jackson. He's been in every single, almost every single, with the exception of Reservoir Dogs and 3 Rooms. The second one, whose name escapes me, he's like, oh, it was a lovely old night. You know, he's drinking tea.
Oh, yeah.
He looks old. Mm-hmm. He was in 3 Rooms. He's the main character, and he was the undercover cop in Reservoir Dogs. I feel like Quentin Tarantino's gonna ignore 3 Rooms because that was very early work, and it was very, very bad.
It was a bad one? Okay.
It was a very bad one.
So he's not a perfect director. All right.
No, he's not a perfect director by a long shot. He has made mistakes. 3 Rooms.
The 3 Rooms is bad.
It's my fan theory that every single character in this film, represents each one of Quentin Tarantino's films.
Okay.
Kurt Russell, he has never been in one. I believe he will be the embodiment of the Hateful Eight. He will be everything we want the movie to be. It will be him. Samuel Jackson, maybe he's not a movie. He could represent all the movies encompassed into one person. He could just represent Quentin Tarantino's career. I mean, he's been there the whole way. And the rest of them, like he was in Kill Bill. He was a scumbag, and he looks like he's a scumbag in this movie. Like he has the gun under the chair. That guy goes. He's fat looking. You know, he has baby cheeks. He was also.
He looked like he belonged in a western. He had that look.
Well, he was a cowboy in Kill Bill. Well, he wore a cowboy hat. You know, while he was brutally murdered by a snake. Yeah. Brutally murdered.
Cool.
Looks like it's taking maybe 10, 20, maybe 15 years after the Civil War, because Samuel Jackson was wearing a Union soldier uniform, or at least a jacket. And there was at least one gentleman, the very old one who didn't say a thing, wearing a Confederate soldier's coat, and perhaps the guy with the bowler cap that was in 3 Rooms and Reservoir Dogs. He might be Confederate, although he looks more like a businessman. You know, there's going to be tensions there. Of course, there's going to be the themes of racism like there was in Django.
Yep.
They're probably going to say the N-word a lot, but not as much. There's only one black person.
They're in Wyoming.
Wyoming?
That's what I read. Since I knew so little about this, I dove into some research and read the first 2 sentences of the Wikipedia article about it. So now you can consider me an expert.
Why? It makes sense.
In 2013 of November, Tarantino had this script and it got leaked, so they decided to publish it into a novel instead of a movie. Come next year, he decided, no, I want to make this movie, so that's...
Okay. It could be in Wyoming.
So it was like a stumble to get going, and then they said it takes place in Wyoming a little bit after the Civil War.
A little bit? Okay, yeah. I was right.
Obviously brings up some tension.
Yeah, there's gonna be racial tensions.
Which is great, because general audiences all know racism is bad.
Yeah.
It's a new message coming up in today's films.
It'll be easy to know who's the bad guy.
Yes.
It's the fat dude, because fat people are...
Yeah, exactly. If you are a person of size, you are automatically
the bad person.
Or if you don't have a beard.
Tarantino films.
I was like, someone's got a Dollar Shave Club membership in the movie.
Oh, that beautiful handlebar mustache by Kurt Russell.
Everyone's got these big old beards, and that guy's all clean cut. That's why he's an outcast.
That's just beautiful, though, isn't it? Oh, I just want to ride
it. Good.
Like a bike. Like a bike. The handlebars.
It was very beautifully shot, and that they're shoving it in your face that it's 70 millimeter.
Because he loves film.
He loves film.
Everything he shot has always been film. He's never shot anything in digital.
He hates digital. He's made that obvious.
Yeah, he believes it's an art form, and I think he's an artist. He's allowed to do
very much.
Yeah.
It's just, I thought it was very funny. If you were from the older times and you saw this trailer that came out from the distant future in 2015,
it comes in 70 millimeters.
It used to be the tagline in 3D, and now that's like a given, so they don't put that anymore. And now his tagline is 70 millimeter.
That's fun. I think about that. He hasn't changed his film style, but the times have changed so much where now the fact that he can shoot things in film is like, Look at this.
I just want to tell him, it's like, it's not we haven't completely switched. Quentin.
It's an artistic choice.
Mr. T, we use film a lot still. Like it is. If I met him, I wouldn't call him by his first name. I'd say Mr. T.
No,
we film a lot of things in IMAX, which is still on film. It's like we haven't, basically, unless you're YouTube.
He's not a hipster, Drew. He's not doing it because no one else is doing. He's been doing it for 20 years.
He's just in good old fashioned 70 millimeter. Half of Hollywood still uses it.
But no one's selling their movie on it. Oh,
it's true. It's never been a tagline. It'd be like bringing back In Color. You know, it's like it feels like shouldn't that go without saying?
But it was snowy. It looks like what's going to happen is people in the cabin, might be a cabin, might be something else, I don't know. And Kurt Russell's riding along with his bounty. He runs into Samuel Jackson, who's waiting for a ride, and a blizzard comes
Sitting on a pile of dead bodies.
But bounties, assuming. Okay. I don't think he's a serial killer. Well, he would be a serial killer, but he's also a bounty hunter, so it's okay. And then blizzard starts, they find shelter, and then they're all stuck inside that one room for a couple days.
And then it's like Clue, where they have to figure out who's not who they say they are.
Yes, okay. There will be betrayal. Look at my notes. You know what? That's basically. I have one more thing to say. I found it semi-odd, not unexpected, but semi-odd that there was only one female in the trailer, and she was, I'm not sure if she's a protagonist, but she's definitely like a strong character. Like she'll be influential.
She's an optimist. She's so happy about
living hanged. She's a fighter. She comes in with a black eye and she has blood over her mouth, so I assume she gives up a fight, or they're all women beaters, which I like to think is a wrong. I don't think Quentin Tarantino would make all the
bad guy. We know that's bad.
The bad guy beats women, and all the good ones don't.
The good guys help him. Yeah. What I'd like to mention, after my first response watching this reaction, I thought the trailer did a bad job, because I was not excited for this movie at all.
Okay, we had opposite reactions. I was like, yes!
That's why I was saving this. That's why I was saving this moment, because I like Tarantino. I do. From what I've seen, I enjoy the style. I watched a lot of interviews with him. I like him as a filmmaker, that he's an artist. But this trailer, and I feel like he didn't have control over it. If you're not a Tarantino fan without any predetermined knowledge, like if you didn't know who Tarantino was, the trailer does not really excite you. All you know is that there's a stagecoach, snow, and that Samuel Jackson will shoot you.
I can see where you're coming from. It's not totally unreasonable. But maybe this film isn't meant for your kind.
Right.
This is his final film before he retires. This is meant for his lifelong fans like me.
Mm-hmm. And
this is meant for me.
If before he retires, because
he might get a writing credit, but I believe this will be his last directing job.
Sure, but
he might.
I doubt
cameo.
Hollywood doesn't let you escape like that.
He's an artist.
Possible.
Believe in his artistic.
They can grab you by the neck and drag you back.
He's rich. He's rich. He doesn't have to eat. Like, no one's going to grab him by the dick and say, hey, you want some more money?
They'll kidnap him, put him in a room while they're writing a script, and give him writing credits. That's what Hollywood does.
They'll give him a cameo in the writing credit, but I don't think he's going to direct anymore.
Either way, whoever at Trailer Park made this trailer, I think, did a bad job at making it excitable, because
it was mostly dialogue.
It feels like, which he is a great dialogue director.
Dialogue is wonderful. That's one of the best things about his films.
Yeah, but if you're a dialogue-centered director and you want people to get interested in your movie, you don't show like 9 different shots of a stagecoach going through the snow. It's like, what is this about?
Yeah. I'll admit, like, if I was gonna make the trailer for Pulp Fiction, I would show the scene where they're talking about a quarter mac with, a quarter pounder with cheese. That's what I chose, because that's a clever conversation. This now that I'm thinking about it, it was the narrative. They were talking about story plot points in this trailer, very vaguely, but they were. There wasn't like that quibby.
Inglourious Bastards. That's what I saw. I just. Sorry, I remember. That's what I saw, and I liked it a lot. And that you brought that up because of he's mostly about dialogue.
Yes.
Action was very good, but it was very brief in that movie.
Yes,
it was not a long action scene. They were 5 seconds.
He's very dialogue heavy, but his action scenes are something to behold. They're
a big deal.
Like the first 10 minutes of Inglourious Basterds. Let's sidetrack a little bit. It's
dialogue.
It's all dialogue. It's very slow paced. Most I guess 3 minutes of it is in French, and then it gets in German. And for someone with lack of attention span, dear viewer,
if you're not into those types of films.
if you have a short attention span, you'll get lost in the first couple of minutes. Like, why is this Nazi talking this French wine connoisseur?
Yeah,
But if you stick with it, you'll see a bunch of Nazis execute Jews. You know, and then action sequence, it's like,
right, they're great.
And then there's witty dialogue throughout the movie, interwoven with intense but short violence.
Yes, it's rewarding. And whoever did the trailer for the Hateful Eight should have
captured
captured
the intense violence,
the dialogue, the build up, and then you're about to see something violent really happen. That's when the title shows. I'm thinking of Pulp Fiction, where they're talking about robbing a bank or a restaurant. The restaurant scene's like, let's rob it right now, and then like it's a nice British couple. You're like, wait, they have this dialogue,
and then she
and then
pulls
they pull out the
gun.
guns, and then
and you motherfucker, I love that scene.
That's what the trailer should be for a Tarantino movie. Is you get the premise of because this just looked boring. If you had no clue what Tarantino was, it's like, okay, it's a guy running around in the snow and that might shoot each other.
Yeah, you're right. Like Quentin Tarantino fans, violence is a given.
Yes.
I know for a fact there will be plenty of the violence that we all know and love.
Since it's the last film, I'm hoping it's the most violent. I want this to have the biggest, most blood-wrenching, top Django blood amounts of death.
I have no doubt this will be one of my favorites.
Okay.
It might not top Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction because those are classics, but I'm expecting this to be in the top 4.
Yeah, and I could just tell by this trailer. I was like, I know this is good, but they're doing it wrong. They're not showing me how they should be showing me. So.
He already has money. He doesn't need money. Screw those fair weather viewers. They'd be like, oh, the trailer looks boring. Let's watch Godzilla 2.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. The marketing campaign, it doesn't matter. You're right at this point.
Marketing campaign, keep doing what you're doing. Be boring. Be boring. I want people like me in the theater going, ah ha ha. At the same time, I am in the theater.
This is the first trailer, so
yes,
it's not listed as a teaser.
Well,
but it kind of is.
On YouTube, it is. On YouTube, there's a version.
It doesn't feel like a teaser because it's pretty long and they're showing a lot. But it almost feels like this is the first 20-minute span is what it feels like. It's like the opening 20 minutes of movie, that's all they're showing.
Oh, there was a point when they got rid of the bodies. I don't think they killed anyone because of the red pajamas. I think that was the bounties Samuel Jackson got. So maybe they try and get away and they need to get rid of weight, so they just dump the bounties. Going back to Inglourious Basterds, that recipe is almost all of his movies. It's not... His movies are, by a long shot, not the same movie rehash. No, but he has a definite recipe of witty dialogue interwoven with intense, sparse violence.
Let us know what you think of the Hateful Eight. Did you hate it or did you love it?
You can't hate this. It's impossible. It's impossible to hate this.
You either like it or you're bored.
I'm a fanboy, so my opinions are biased. Heavily.
and I'm more external, I know of, but not completely submerged, and I would say it's gonna be good.